Awesome. So Carlita, you are officially a BMU Academy alumni. You went through the teaching artist career path and you watched all the videos, right?
Mhm.
And I know there were some times where you procrastinated and you would set some videos aside, but we got through them with some encouragement, with some motivation. We made sure that we got through those videos and you completed all of your assignments, right?
But I feel like I was just honest with you when I like it felt like kind of like awkward at first, but then I was like, I haven't done this one yet. And I feel like that's something if I could tell anyone else, it's okay.
Yeah, and we just remind ourselves, like, you just got to remind yourself, it's like, hey, why did you do this? Why did you start it? What would it mean for you to teach poetry? Like, let's just get it done, you know? And you were like, yeah, you're right. And you got through it. And we worked on creating a professional artist bio. We worked on you learning how to develop your own lesson plans. And we worked on spicing up and cleaning up your resume, right?
Mhm.
How was that experience for you?
Um, Definitely important, especially the lesson plan thing. I know with my resume, I remember I kept telling you like it's scaring me. I don't know what to do because I've always worked in restaurants and bars and stuff and nannying where it's like I didn't really ever need a resume. Um, so you definitely helped me a lot with that because that was like intimidating to me. The thing that I use the most is I still use the lesson planning. So I'm very glad that I learned how to do that.
I remember when you were nervous leading your first workshop for BMU Academy, your first poetry workshop. How was that for you?
When I did it with this, or
Yeah.
I swear to God, like at first, like all I could hear was my heartbeat. I was so scared. I was so self-conscious, especially since it was over Zoom. So I'm just like looking at everyone stare at me. Although I still, which was the same thing how I felt when I was in the first class I taught as a teaching artist was an 8th grade class, and my hands were so sweaty. Like, and I was so scared of a room of 13-year-olds. Same thing.
Cool.
Like it got easier.
So you went through the teaching artist career path, you completed the videos, you got all the assignments done, and finally it was a time to apply to those organizations, and we applied to multiple organizations. And I sent my personal recommendation to those organizations, correct? Awesome. Would you say like your process going through the teaching artist career path, applying to these organizations, would you say you had my support right there every step of the way?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like even now, like you've texted me like even now, like been like, hey, how's it been? Blah blah. Yeah. Like it's just like how when I was having trouble with one of the schools that I work at, and it was a school that you had previously like, or no, it was an organization you had previously like worked with before, and I just texted you and I was like, hey, like, can you give me advice on this? Yeah, sure. That no, and especially with the applying part, because like I got kind of apathetic at one point, being like, I'm not hearing from anybody, it's not going to happen, and then you were kind of like, nope, let's go, let's keep it going. Yeah. Now I work for Urban Word and I work for DreamYard, and I'm in this preliminary like mentorship program thing with City Lore that then leads to a career. So
you're telling me you went from bartending, you went from doing nanny work to now you're working with Urban Word, NYC, and City Lore, 3 of the top organizations in New York City that hire poetry teaching artists.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I feel like it's the first time that I actually feel kind of like proud when like someone asks me like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh, like what do you work for? Blah, blah. It's like, I always used to feel kind of embarrassed, like, cause I'm grown and I'm still a waitress. Like I've been a waitress since I was 15. I'm 28 now, that now I have a grown up dog. Like I remember like when I got like, it was Urban Word who hired me first. And I remember like when I got it, like sent it to you and I was like, I feel like I'm going to cry. Like it's my first grown up job. So
that's all that matters. I'm happy for you. I'm super proud for you. So I got something for you from me and the organization. Sharice and Kyra couldn't be here, but they sent their best wishes, and I'm gonna send this over to you so that you can see for yourself and you can keep this for yourself. Certification of completion. is presented to Carlita Field Hernandez for completing the required course of study for the teaching artist career path. This was not easy. It's not easy chasing your passion, chasing your dreams, studying on the side of having to work, getting those assignments done, and finally completing the course. But you did it. And so this is your certification of completion. This is what every student is going to get once they complete the program. So I wanted to make sure that you were on to get yours as well.
Oh, and my little diploma.
So my final question to you is, going from bartending, going from nannying, and then you saw the teaching artist career path, you said, you know what, I'm going to jump in this, I'm going to take it serious, I'm going to complete it. You finished it. You applied to multiple organizations. 3 of those organizations hired you, and now you are literally in middle schools, high schools around the city, teaching students, middle school and high school students, teaching poetry, which you love for a living.
And elementary school.
And elementary school. So how does that feel to finally go from bartending, nannying, to finally saying, you know what, I'm teaching my passion. I'm sharing my passion of poetry with these students who can be the poets of the future. How does that feel?
It's kind of indescribable, you know, because I know that like for the longest time, whenever someone would ask me like, oh, what do you want to do? Like, oh, what do you want to do? It used to freak me out when I was in college. Like, the first time I went to college, I was a creative writing major because that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to write. And then like, I was like, I don't know what job I'm going to do. So I ended up dropping out of school. And then I went back into school and I'd get the same question all the time where it's like, what do you want to do? And I remember like trying to go for like a nursing degree, trying this degree, trying that degree. I ended up getting an English degree. And the reason why I got an English degree was because people kept asking me like, what do you want to do? Like, what career do you want? And I was like, honestly, like, I just want to write. But it was depressing inside because I felt like I just like poetry and I like writing and I don't know how to make that into a job. Like, and I don't know how to do that. And I feel like when you said about doing this, where I was kind of like, wow, that's the dream. Like I get to do poetry for money. Like, and you know, and then like having a job where it's like, I work in schools, you know, I miss Carlita. You know, I'm not only like respected by these kids and I feel like I'm actually making a difference with these kids, but when I'm communicating with the teachers and stuff like that, and the principals, like I feel like an equal and stuff. I feel like, so like New Year's Eve, I was Zooming with my family and my brother and my dad and my uncle, my grandmother were there and their friends and stuff. And I was laughing because my brother had on his name, it said Mr. Hernandez, and he's a teacher, a math teacher in the Bronx. And then my dad just starts saying like boastfully, he goes like, oh yeah, because my son is a teacher in the Bronx and my daughter is a teacher in multiple schools in the Bronx, you know, like these are my kids, da da da. And I kind of felt like, yay, I get one too. Like, you know, awesome. I have a grown-up job and it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
That's great. And it's only up from here. I did it for nearly 10 years. It's only up from here. You're going to continue to get better at it. You're going to be able to use those lesson plans all over again next year. So I'm super excited for you. Thank you for taking time to meet with me and all these other potential students who are nervous and scared. I'm pretty sure your testimony and your story about how it worked out for you is going to help them out. I'm going to make sure you get your certificate as well. Awesome. Thank you, Carlita.